Welcome back to Under the Tights, powered by the one and only Heroes Comics here in Fresno at Shaw and Highway 41, where this week we're taking a look at the newest Marvel Studios film. Black Panther comes out next year. The newest trailer was dropped this week, and it looks really, really good.
My son, it is your time.
Show me my respect and bow down.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
I wasn't really feeling the first trailer. The first trailer had me like, meh. Here's Marvel Studios once again rolling a B-team character out as a mainstream figure, just like they did with Ant-Man. Ant-Man ended up being pretty good, but when the trailer came out for that, I was kind of like, what the hell are we doing an Ant-Man movie for? When the first Black Panther movie came out, I felt the same way. What the hell are we doing an Ant-Man movie for? But this second one looks really, really pretty cool. It had all the Marvel Studios staples of excitement. You had your car chase scenes, your hand-to-hand combat and exotic locations, a soundtrack that seemed fitting. But who is the Black Panther, you ask? Well, Black Panther was created by Stan Lee of Marvel Comics and was drawn by Jack Kirby. They developed the character in the mid-'60s. The name Black Panther actually predates the American Black Panther political activist party. For those of you who are wondering, the name wasn't intended to be a takeoff on that, although Black Panther is the first American black superhero. Definitely the first one with actual superpowers, and I'll leave it at that. They did change his name to Black Leopard for a hot minute to kind of avoid association with what was going on, and then they scrapped that idea and decided to go full throat into that, and I think it worked out pretty well for them. But early on in the development of the Black Panther, he was kind of seen as, like I just said, a B-team character. He would show up and fight with the Fantastic Four. I think, in fact, his first appearance was in a Fantastic Four book in 1966. He'd fight alongside Daredevil and Spider-Man. He wasn't from New York. He was from Africa. Wakanda is the city that he's from. It doesn't really exist. We'll get into that in a minute. But he would travel to New York, and he would help fight crime with the Avengers and the characters that I just mentioned. He got a run in a solo arc that was picked up by college students a lot, but still never really caught on the way Iron Man or Spider-Man and those characters does. But he is still a really pretty cool character. Who is he and what does he do? Black Panther is the king or tribal chief of a group of people from a made-up town called Wakanda in Africa. Now, if you were trying to find it, you wouldn't be able to. It's one of these hidden cities in comic books. It's like, like El Dorado, or like in The Flash, like Gorilla City. Like it's there, but not there. Like the Savage Lands and X-Men. There seems to be a lot of these cities that are invisible in comic books. But it's invisible because there's a very precious resource there that they try to hide from everybody. Vibranium, which is the metal that they made Captain America's shield out of. It came from a meteorite that crashed on Earth. Well, it crashed in Wakanda, and they've been hoarding this valuable material and fighting off anyone who would try to take it from them. So historically, the king of Wakanda would take on the mantle of the Black Panther. He gets his powers, which are super strength, agility, speed, and an ability to sense like Wolverine, can smell things from miles and miles away. He originally got his powers in the original story arc by eating it was like a heart-shaped plant or fruit, and it would give him those powers. When he'd eat it, it would endow him with those powers. Then he would wear a suit made of vibranium, which would make him almost indestructible. So a pretty cool superhero. Later on, they kind of morphed that a little bit, and he gets his power from like the spirit of the Black Panther. It's still basically the same power structure, but he doesn't eat the thing anymore. I'm curious to see in this movie if they do that, because one of the in fact, I think the first ever standalone Black Panther story arc involved him going back to Wakanda and being challenged by a usurper who he has to fight off. I have a feeling that's what's happening in this movie. That's what it looks like anyway from the trailer. And if it's the heart thing that he has to eat to get the power, then the usurper in the book eats it too, and you have like this fight of the Black Panthers, which is pretty cool. But again, the action sequences look really good in this movie. I think the character has a lot to build upon there as well, and it's going to be kind of a departure because this is going to be a completely, I mean, it's in the Marvel universe, but it's going to take place mostly in Africa. I think that the characters that you'll recognize that'll be attached to this from other Marvel projects will be mostly tied to the vibranium angle of this, of people trying to get into Wakanda to take what's there. But I think the main story is going to center around, from what I'm seeing and what I know of the character, this usurper that's from Wakanda that's trying to take the throne of the Black Panther because he's been spending too much time in New York with fighting with the Avengers and Captain America and that kind of stuff. So it looks really cool. If you want to know more about the Black Panther, it's a really neat character. You know what I'm going to tell you? Go to Heroes Comics. It's the only spot that I go. On Shaw and Highway 41 right here in Fresno, it's Wednesday, which means it's New Comic Book Day. A few things that are out. Good idea to pick up. You got a new Thor out today. It's got multiple alternative covers. I think it's Thor 700, which is out today. You got a new Incredible Hulk, which is coming out today, and several. It seems like every week there's a new Batman. There's so many Batman books I can't keep track anymore. Being honest with you, I'm enjoying the Batman Rebirth story, but even that was like every other week it's a different story. There's a lot going on in the world of Batman. You can pretty much bet that every Wednesday there's a new Batman book out. But go check out my friends at Heroes Comics. Tell them I sent you and learn more about the Black Panther. Get pumped for that. Next week, I think we're going to talk about the new Thor movie, which is coming up right around the corner. Leave your comments, and we'll talk to you next week on Under the Tights.